Hello everyone, I hope that you're doing well and good. In this video, I am about to explain astrology. These are my astrology notes, you can find them in my description. So, first thing that you need to remember in astrology is that we have 9 planets, we have 12 zodiac signs, and we have 12 houses. We will discuss about each and every one of them one by one, but first let's just start with planets. So, our first planet is Sun, gender is masculine, element is fire. Numerology is 1, day is Sunday, color is yellow and gold. Characteristics: confidence, strength, intelligence, inspiration, authority, leadership, vitality, creativity, ambition, generosity, warmth, government, self expression, ego, personality, a personal identity. All that is Sun. So, Sun is like a father figure, and it is confidence, it is strength, it is leadership, it is ego, all this is Sun. Then we come to the Moon. So Moon is feminine, water. Numerology is 2. Day is Monday. Color is white and silver. It represents emotional, nurturing, intuitive, reflective, adaptive, sensitive, empathetic, protective, receptive, imaginative, memory, moods, instincts, subconscious, maternal influences. So everything motherly is Moon. Sun is fatherly, Moon is motherly, and Moon is emotional. So if your Moon is high, your emotional senses will be high, and Sun is mostly ego, confidence, creativity, strength, leadership. We have discussed about that. Okay. Now moving on to the Mercury. Mercury is both gender neutral, so it is both masculine and feminine. Element we have two. We have air and earth. Numerology we have 5. Day we have Wednesday. Color we have green. Characteristics we have communicative, logical, rational, analytical, curious, versatile, quick-witted, articulate, perceptive, adaptable, humor, mathematics, engineering, reasoning, learning, all that. So Mercury is a child, and he's very logical. He's very intelligent. He's good in humor, engineering, all that. So all that is Mercury. Then comes Venus. Venus is feminine in nature. Element is air and earth. Numerology is 6. Day is Friday, and color is pink and light blue. Venus is loving, beautiful, artistic, friendly, sympathetic, sensual, harmonious, charming, affectionate, graceful, relationships, aesthetic, pleasure, values, and social interactions. All that is related to Venus. And Venus's wife. Venus is feminine energy. If you want to see your wife, then you see Venus. Venus is loving, artistic, beautiful, charming, all that. Now coming to the Mars. Mars is masculine. Fire and water are elements. Numerology is 9. Day is Tuesday. Color is red and orange. Characteristics are energetic, assertive, courageous, decisive, restless, aggressive, passionate, competitive, dynamic, action, drive, conflict, physical energy, initiative. So Mars is action oriented, is very aggressive, energetic, all that, and Mars is a brother figure. Mars is a brother figure, and Jupiter is a husband figure. Jupiter is also masculine, fire and water. We have numerology 3. Day is Thursday. Color is orange and yellow. Philosophical, spiritual, optimistic, expansive, generous, benevolent, wise, adventurous, growth, abundance, high learning, wisdom, travel, luck. So everything related to philosophy, spirituality, intelligence, wise, benevolent, adventurous, abundance, high learning, all that is Jupiter. So Jupiter is very wise and philosophical. Now coming to the Saturn. Saturn is a neutral, so it is both masculine and feminine. Element is air and earth. Numerology is 8. Day is Saturday. Color is black and dark blue. Disciplined, restrictive, sorrowful, pessimistic, patient, hardworking, responsible, serious, prudent. Ambition, limitation, structure, hard work, responsibility. So Saturn represents hard work, represents discipline, responsibilities, and ambition. All that represents Saturn. And then comes Rahu. So Rahu and Ketu are not planets. These are Rahu is the north node of the moon. Ketu is the south node of the moon. So Rahu we have, again it is gender neutral. Element is air. Numerology is 4. We don't have any day. Color is smoky grey. Rahu is ambitious, materialistic, obsessive, innovative, restless, cunning, deceptive, worldly, adventurous, adaptable, confusion, illusion, addiction, outward success, conventionality. So whenever Rahu is there, it just increases the intensity of everything. It's illusion. It's all these ambitious is also there. Cunning is also there. Restless, deceptive. So all that comes under Rahu. And then comes Ketu. Ketu is again gender neutral. Element is fire. Numerology is 7. Day we don't have. Color is dull red brown. And we have detached, introspective, spiritual, intuitive, recursive, mystical, transformative, inward focused, self realization, fear, escapism, instability, renunciation. So Ketu represents dissolution. Ketu is detachment. So when Ketu is there, you get detached. When Rahu is there, you get obsessive. You get restless. You get Rahu is like illusion, and Ketu is opposite of that. So these are polar opposites of each other. Now, let's say that we have conjunctions. Let's talk about a little bit about conjunctions as well. So let's say that Rahu sits with uh, any planet. If Rahu sits with Mars, then it will increase the intensity of Mars. If Rahu sits with Saturn, it will increase the intensity of Saturn. If it sits with Jupiter, it will increase the intensity of the Jupiter. And Mercury, it will increase the intensity of the Mercury. But it not just increases its intensity, it also makes it in gives some negative affliction to that. So it is a little bit negative in that sense. Rahu and Ketu, these are kind of negative planets, mostly. Um, so obsession is not a good quality. So Rahu and Ketu are considered to be the negative planets. Even Saturn is considered, but then Saturn discipline, hard work, and all that is very necessary. So we don't consider. And now let's say if Ketu sits with Saturn, so Ketu will detach the person of that thing. Okay, so if Saturn is there, then that person will not do hard work. And if Ketu sits with Jupiter, then the person will not be wise and will not study, and he will leave everything at all. If Ketu sits with Mars, then that person will give up easily, will lose and just give up everything, because Mars never give up. Mars never give up. Venus is loving. So if Ketu sits with Venus, then love is Vomaya, illusion. So Venus would not be able to love if Ketu is present with it. And Mercury is intelligent, wise, and all that. So if Ketu sits with it, again, Mercury will not be able to do its own thing. So it negates, Ketu negates, and Rahu amplifies. Okay. Now let's say we have Sun and Moon. If the Sun and Moon are sitting together, that means it is Amavasya. In Amavasya, Sun and Moon are sitting together. So that is not good. Amavasya is not good. Secondly, if Sun is opposite to the Moon, then it is Purnima, full moon. Amavasya is new moon, no moon. Okay, and Purnima Purnima is full moon. So if sun is opposite to moon, then it is Purnima. If sun is with the moon, then it is Amavasya. Amavasya is not good, but Purnima is good. It is full moon. Okay. Now, if let's say sun is set with Mercury, then what happens? Then the energy of the sun and Mercury will combine, which actually gives good results. So if similar energy combines, it will give some good results. So if sun and Mars combine, then it will give good results. If Mercury, so if moon and Venus combine, it will give good results. But remember that moon is very emotional and Venus is very artistic, beautiful, love, all that. So yeah, so conjunction, you just have to understand each and every planet property, and then you will have to make sense out of the situation, like what will happen if this planet set with this planet. So let's say Jupiter set with Mars. So Jupiter is wise, intelligent and learned person. Mars is action oriented, Mars is energetic, all that. So that person will be having characteristics of both these two. Okay. Also depends on the zodiac. So we will be discussing about the zodiac soon after this. I think we have covered this, so like let's just start with the zodiac. Okay, now so let's talk about zodiac sign. So the first zodiac sign is Aries, and its gender is masculine, planet is Mars, element is fire, symbol is ram sheep, polarity is cardinal, creative energy, full of vitality, enthusiastic, ambitious, bold, energetic, eager to explore and dominate, clean hearted, forgiving, restless, desperate. That's Aries energy. It is having the Martian energy, masculine Martian energy. Then we have Taurus. Taurus is feminine Venus energy. Element is earth. Symbol is bull. Polarity is fixed. Characteristics are social position, security, ease and comfort, loving, indulgent, materialistic, patient, creative, deterministic, sensual, stable. So, first of all, I think I should explain you that we have all the energies of the gender. You can see that it is in bifurcated one by one. So one is masculine, feminine, then masculine, then feminine, then masculine, then feminine, so on to last feminine, and then the first is masculine. That's the first thing that you need to remember. Second thing is that the element also moves like that: fire, earth, air, water. Again, fire, earth, air, water. Again, fire, earth, air, water. Again, fire, earth, air, water. So all that, you that is very important. Another thing is that we have discussed about planets. So sun always exhibits the masculine energy, and the moon always exhibits the feminine energy. The rest of the five planets, that is Mars, Venus, Mercury, Jupiter, Saturn. Mars, Venus, Mercury, Jupiter, Saturn. Okay, five planets. These all five planets shows both masculine and the feminine energy. So Aries is the masculine energy of Mars, and Scorpio is the feminine energy of Mars. Taurus is the feminine energy of Venus, and Libra is the masculine energy of Venus. Gemini is the masculine energy of Mercury, and Virgo is the feminine energy of Mercury. Similarly, Jupiter, masculine energy is in Sagittarius, and the feminine energy of Jupiter is in Pisces. Masculine energy of Saturn is in Aquarius, and feminine energy of Saturn is in Capricorn. So all that, you just need to remember that other than Sun and Moon, all the five planets are bifurcated in two energies: masculine energy and feminine energy. That is another thing. Now let's talk about Gemini. Gemini is masculine, planet is Mercury, air, twins, mutable. Duality, curious, intellectual, versatile, communicative, excitable, restless, adaptive, youthful, discovery of life purpose. All that is the Mercury energy. Now moving on to the Cancer. Cancer is feminine, moon-like, water. Cardinal, emotional, sympathetic, nurturing, intuitive, protecting, caring, imaginative, maternal. Then Leo is masculine, sun, fire, lion, fixed, leader, creative, self-centered, aspiring, bold, dramatic, protective, loyal, dominant, aggressive. That's the quality of the sun, and that was the quality of the moon. Now moving on to the Virgo. Virgo is the feminine energy of Mercury. Element is earth. Symbol is maiden. Polarity is mutable. Perfectionist, perfectionist, analytical, organized, practical, sensitive, intellectual, disciplined, nurturing, intense. So that's Mercury energy. Feminine energy. Uh, so Libra is the masculine energy of Venus. Air, balance, cardinal, diplomatic, charming, fair, artistic, sociable, romantic, idealistic, adaptable, thirst of achievement. So that's the masculine energy of Venus. Scorpio is the feminine energy of Mars. Water bearer, water, scorpion, fixed, mysterious, intense, passionate, psychic, transformative, vengeful, brave, intuitive, determined, resourceful. So that's the feminine energy of Mars. Then comes masculine energy of Jupiter, which is fire sign and centaur, mutable, optimistic, adventurous, independent, philosophical, visionary, freedom loving, open minded, seeks knowledge. Then comes Capricorn, which is the feminine energy of the Saturn. Earth is the planet. Crocodile, cardinal, hardworking, practical, ambitious, responsible, disciplined, persevering, struggles through difficulty. So that's Saturn energy. Then we have Aquarius. Aquarius is the masculine energy of Saturn, which is air, water bearer, fixed, visionary, intellectual, humanitarian, innovative, rebellious, progressive, detached, forward thinking. So that's the masculine energy of Saturn. Then comes Pisces, which is the feminine energy of Jupiter. Fish is the symbol, polarity is mutable. Intuitive, dreamy, spiritual, sensitive, compassionate, empathetic, artistic, peaceful, and preserves and sustains life. Now, if you go back to the planets, you can see that these elements, sun and moon, are masculine and feminine energy, and element is fire and water. Then air and earth element, we have got that from in Zodiac. If we go, Gemini is air, and second of Mercury is earth. So earth and air, we have these. Similarly, we have in Venus we have earth and air, and Mars and Jupiter we have fire and water. In Saturn also we have earth and air. In Rahu we have air, and in Ketu we have fire. So that as well. Yeah, so that's all for Zodiac. I suppose we have another sheet in which I have explained it in a little more detail. You can check it out. And now let's just move on to the Nakshatra. Okay, now let's talk about the Nakshatra characteristics. Now, each and every zodiac is further bifurcated into Nakshatra. So, each zodiac may contains 2 or 3 nakshatra, and each and every degree of the nakshatra is of 13 1 by 3. So 13 degree 20 minutes. 20 minutes is like by third of 60, which is 1 minute. So 1/3 of a minute. That is why it is 13 1 by 3. I hope that you know that degrees are represented in minutes and seconds. If you see that the longitude and latitude locations as well, they will be present in like that only, minutes and degrees, minutes and seconds. So we have 13 degree and 20 minutes is the duration between each and every nakshatra. So 13 1 by 3 is the difference we have in each and every nakshatra. Okay, so the first nakshatra we have is Ashwini. It reflects Aries quality, which is Martian quality. Dynamic, energetic, adventurous, quick-witted, spontaneous, resourceful, charismatic, pioneer, impulse, and restless. Then we have Bharni, determined, intense, creative, disciplined, sensual, creative, ethical, loyal, patient, courageous, nurturing, indulgent. Then we have Kritika, having both Taurus energy and Aries energy. So the Taurus is Venus and Aries is Mars. So both these energies are there. Strong-willed, sharp, analytical, critical, perfectionist, fiery, determined, responsible, protective, hardworking. Then we move on to the Rohini. Rohini is having Venus energy entirely. So it is romantic, artistic, charismatic, affectionate, materialistic, graceful, loyal, nurturing, stable, imaginative, persuasive. And then Mrigshira is having the energy of Venus and Mercury. Then so it is curious, intelligent, restless, exploratory, adaptable, romantic, creative, practical, insightful, sensitive, detail oriented. Ardhara is having the entirely the Gemini energy, so it is fierce, intense, transformative, passionate, emotional, analytical, intellectual, driven, unconventional, and rebellious. Punarvasu is having the Gemini and Cancer energy, so Mercury and Moon energy. It is giving optimistic, forgiving, nurturing, adaptable, generous, spiritual, inventive, visionary, protective, introspective, intuitive. Pushya is having the Cancer energy. It is loyal, kind, disciplined, responsible, traditional, charitable, wise, reliable, hardworking, focused, respectful. So that's Cancer energy, which is Moon energy. Then we have Ashlesha is also having the Cancer energy, mysterious, intuitive, persuasive, cunning, resourceful, secretive, intellectual, strategic, transformative, intense. Also the Moon energy. Then we have the Sun energy in Leo. It is ambitious, regal, authoritative, powerful, protective, leadership oriented, loyal, traditional, proud, confident. Purva Fulvani is also having the Leo energy. Romantic, luxurious, fun loving, confident, charming, artistic, affectionate, indulgent, glamorous, dramatic, carefree. That's the Sun energy. Then we have Leo and Virgo energy. So we have the Sun energy and we have Mercury energy, feminine of work and Mercury energy. So Uttara Falguni is disciplined, hardworking, ambitious, loyal, supportive, kind hearted, detail oriented, pragmatic, dependable, and modest. Then we have Hasta, which is having entirely Virgo energy, which is Mercury energy. Creative, industrious, skillful, harmonious, logical, reliable, practical, grounded, disciplined, service oriented, adaptable. So, feminine energy of Mercury. Then we have Chitra. Again, this one is having Virgo and Libra energy. So, Libra is Venus and Virgo is Mercury. So, Mercury, Venus energy. Artistic, charming, charismatic, perfectionist, stylish, ambitious, analytical, competitive, determined, visionary, bold. All that is Chitra. Then comes Libra, entirely Venus energy, independent, flexible, adaptable, intellectual, diplomatic, resourceful, balanced, social, fair, cooperative, kind hearted. Then we have Vishakha, we have Libra energy and Scorpio energy, so Venus and Mars energy. Determined, ambitious, goal oriented, passionate, charming, spiritual, hardworking, resilient, idealistic, tenacious. Then we have Scorpio energy, which is Mars energy. Come in Anuradha, compassionate, loyal, disciplined, intuitive, friendly, spiritual, supportive, balanced, hardworking, secretive, resilient. Then we have Jyeshtha, again Scorpio energy, Martian energy. Ambitious, bold, intense, protective, commanding, resilient, secretive, dignified, determined, confident, strategic. Then we have Sagittarius energy, Jupiter energy, introspective, philosophical, deep, investigative, transformative, ambitious, resilient, fearless, determined, spiritual. Then we have again that's Mula and that's Purva Shadra. Purva Shadra. Okay. So this one is having Sagittarius energy, Jupiter energy again. Optimistic, confident, independent, charismatic, adventurous, visionary, resilient, ambitious, sociable, idealistic. Then we have Sagittarius Capricorn energy, which is Jupiter Saturn energy. Hardworking, disciplined, responsible, focused, ambitious, kind, determined, practical, ethical, authoritative, reliable. Uttarashadra. Shravana is having the entirely the Capricorn energy. Intelligent, knowledgeable, wise, thoughtful, Capricorn Saturn energy. Disciplined, resourceful, spiritual, communicative, responsible. Danish is having Capricorn and Aquarius energy, which is Saturn energy. Energetic, resourceful, ambitious, musical, creative, adaptable, philanthropic, adventurous, self-confident, self-reliant, confident. That's Saturn energy. Again, Satyabhisha is also having the Saturn energy. Mysterious, intellectual, analytical, unconventional, intuitive, recursive, detached, innovative, disciplined, progressive. Then we have Purva Bhadra. So in this one we have the Aquarius Pisces energy. So Saturn and Jupiter energy. Spiritual, introspective, fearless, idealistic, compassionate, ambitious, eccentric, thoughtful, mystical, deep. Uttra Bhadra. So we have Jupiter energy entirely. Wise, spiritual, patient, introspective, practical, humble, reliable, grounded, empathetic, resilient, disciplined. Revati is again the Jupiter energy. Compassionate, nurturing, imaginative, intuitive, artistic, peaceful, selfless, caring, dreamy, empathetic, spiritual. So these are all the 27 nakshatras we have. Now we have also another page of in which we have explained the nakshatra in detail. Um, yeah, so here we are. So again, I have written each and every zodiac is further bifurcated into the nakshatras, and we have the nakshatra degrees and the nakshatra lord. Now let's talk about the nakshatra lord. So you can see that this is the first nakshatra: Ketu, Venus, Sun, Moon, Mars, Rahu, Jupiter, Saturn, Mercury. It occurs one after another, and it also repeats. So after this we get again Ketu, Venus, Sun, Moon, Mars, Jupiter, Mars, Rahu, Jupiter, Saturn, Mercury. Again we have the same Ketu, Venus, Sun, Moon, Mars, Rahu, Jupiter, Saturn, Mercury. Okay. Another thing that you need to remember is that this order is the same order that we get in our Vimshorttri Dasha. So in Vimshorttri Dasha, Ketu is having the 7 years of Dasha period, Venus 20 years, Sun 6, so on. And we have total of 120 years. And if you see the order of it, and it always goes in this fashion only. So it is again Ketu, Venus, Sun, Moon, Mars, Rahu, Jupiter, and all that. Now, another thing that you need to remember is that in nakshatra, how is nakshatra calculated? So nakshatra is calculated when you see your position of moon in the chart. So I'll be explaining houses as well in just a while. I'll explain this again. But for now, wherever, in whichever zodiac, in degree, whichever zodiac, whichever degree your moon is present, that decides your nakshatra. So if moon is sitting in Mercury, in Gemini, in Mrigsira, in this much degree, these degree, then you will have the Mrigsira, and then your nakshatra lord is Mars. Now whatever is your nakshatra lord, that dasha period will start after you are born. So Mars will start, you will start from here: Mars, Rahu, Jupiter, Saturn, Mercury, then comes Ketu, then Venus, Sun. So 7 years on Mars, you will be of Mars, then Rahu 18 years, then Jupiter 16 years, so on. That another thing that you need to remember. So let's suppose you are Hasta, you are Moon, so it will start with the Moon, then it will go to the Mars, then Rahu, then Jupiter, then Saturn, Mercury, then Ketu, then Venus, and so on. So it is in the order, and whichever nakshatra you are having, that nakshatra lord is the lord with which your dasha, Vimshorttri Dasha system will start. If you are born in Purvashada, then you will start with the Venus. If you are born in Uttarashada, you will start with the Sun, and so on and so forth. Now we have then after nakshatra lord we have caste, merchant, outcast, Brahman. Then we have species: horse, elephant, goat, serpent, dog, cat, cow, all that. Then we have temperament: man, demon, god. Then we have impulse: dharma, artha, kama, moksha. Then we have symbols. We have different symbols for each and every nakshatra. We have presiding deities for each and every nakshatra. We have primary impulse, regenerative potential is of Ashwini. We have evolving characteristic, leadership, material characteristics, thirst for sensations. So all these things we have given there. It is for each and every nakshatra. You can go through it, and I have taken all this from the book. So you can look at each and every nakshatra, and you can check what caste you are having, what species, and what temperament, and what impulse, and all that. You can get the good idea of it. Now let's talk about the houses first. So we have 12 houses. Mm, Now Karka is a houses planet representator. So the first house is represented by Sun. It's the Karka planet. So attributes. The first house represents the self, personality, vitality, appearance, leadership qualities, physical health, individuality, independence, soul, temperament. So everything related to you, yourself, personality, and a significator is Sun. So as Karaka is Sun, significator is Sun. That's your first house. Then comes the second house, which significator is Jupiter, so it will be like Jupiter. Attributes are wealth, family, speech, values, profession, material stability, financial prosperity, accumulated wealth, inheritance, poverty, communication style. So second house represents wealth, speech, family, inheritance, property, all that. Then comes the third house. Third house significator is Mars, or Karka is Mars. Then we have the attributes of siblings, courage, communication, effort, short journeys, determination, creativity, adaptability, bravery, mental qualities, curiosity, struggle. So third house is of siblings, courage, communication, creativity, struggle, curiosity, all that. And significator is Mars. Then comes the fourth house, significator is Moon and Mercury. Mother, emotion, home, property, mental peace, nurturing, adaptability, intelligence, domestic happiness, emotional stability, heart, land, material affluence. So fourth house represents Moon. It represents mother, home, property, emotional, all that, home. So that's fourth house. Fifth house represents by Jupiter energy, children, creativity, education, intelligence, spirituality, love affairs, artistic expression, higher learning, wisdom. So the fifth house is about children, creativity, education, intelligence, all that. Sixth house is of Mars and Saturn, health, enemies, competition, depths, discipline, challenges, resilience, endurance, hard work, disease, fear, servitude. So diseases, health, enemies, debts, competition, challenges, resilience. all that. Sixth house is having the energy of Mars and Saturn. Then comes the seventh house. Seventh house is of Venus. So partnership, marriage, business, relations, harmony, diplomacy, contract, public relations, balance in the relationship, status, pride, desire, passion, all that is seventh house. So seventh house is also of marriage and all that. Then comes the eighth house of Saturn, longevity, transformation, hidden knowledge, mystery, discipline, introspection, occult sciences, inheritance, profound changes, death, past life, hidden powers. So, the eighth houses of longevity, death, hidden powers, transformation, Saturn energy it is having. Karka is Saturn. Now moving on to the ninth house, Jupiter and Sun are the Karka planets. Higher in energy, spirituality, luck, ethics, philosophical thinking, benevolence, religious pursuits, fortune, moral values, travel, medication, virtuous deeds, all that is in ninth house. So luck, philosophy, higher learning, status, all that, fortune is of ninth house. Then comes the Sun, 10th house. It is of Mercury, Sun, Jupiter, and Saturn. Career, status, reputation, profession. So ninth house is mostly of philosophy, philosophical thinking, your learning, your religious pursuits, how intelligent you are, all that. And 10th house is about career, status, reputation, profession, achievement, structure, intellect, ambition, vocational paths, public image, moral virtues, livelihood, fame. Then 11th house we have of Jupiter is the Karka significator. We have gains, social interactions, aspiration, profit, networking, prosperity, friendships, group association, fulfillment of desires, material affluence, enjoyment. Saturn. Then 12th house is of Saturn again. It's of losses, liberation, spirituality, subconsciousness, isolation, introspection, long journeys, detachment, endings, expenditure, travel, sleep, completion of cycles, pleasures of bed. Okay, so now whenever you want to see about yourself, you see your first house. If you want to see like how much wealth you will make in your life, you will see the second house and also the opposite house of that. You will also always see the opposite house. Since I am explaining the houses, let's just me tell you the aspects as well of the houses. So first house is located here, second here, third here, fourth here, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, 10th, 11th, 12th. You should note that the house's position will never change, but the planets or the zodiac that we have in these houses may change. Houses always remain constant. So your first house is your Lagna, and your Lagna may contain any zodiac. It may contain Aries, Taurus, Gemini, any uh, zodiac it may contain, and it may contain any house. But you have to notice that the first house tells about the self. So whichever planet is sitting in your first house, whichever zodiac is sitting in your first house, will tell you that how is your personality. You have to see two things: what are the planets sitting in that house, and what are the zodiac sitting in that house. That will help you tell about that house. Now, it could be that number, the zodiac you will see it will be written by numbers. So one is the Aries, two is the Taurus, three is the Gemini, four is the Cancer, and so on till 12 Pisces. It could be that you might have 12 here or 8 here or 6 here, any house. Let's suppose we have 7 here. So our entire 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1 will be here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7 zodiac is Libra. I hope that you understand. Now going back to the houses, so whatever that is expression of the self will also reflect in the wife. Why? Because each and every planet aspect the seventh from itself. Seventh is basically opposite of itself. So if a planet is sitting here, it will aspect here. If a planet is sitting here, it will aspect here. If a planet is sitting here, it will aspect here. If a planet is sitting here, it will aspect here. Seventh, it will always aspect. As you can see, we have 100% aspect, 75% aspect, 50% aspect, 25% aspect. We'll get to that in a moment. Okay, so if you want to see about yourself, you also have to see about your partner as well. But mostly you have to see about yourself. So if you want to see about your wealth, you will see your second house and your 8th house, because second and 8th are opposite to each other. Okay, if you want to see about your how will your partner be, you will see the 7th house. Okay, and you will see what planets and what zodiac we have in that. So another thing that there can be any number of planets and any number of houses. Only thing that you need to remember is that house never change. The house placement is always this. The zodiac may change and the planet may change. That's number one. Another thing is that Rahu is always opposite to the Ketu. So if your Rahu is here, Ketu will be there. If your Rahu is here, Ketu will be there. 7 places apart, polar opposite. The north node, north pole of the moon and south pole of the moon. North node of the moon and the south node of the moon, Rahu Ketu. Okay. So if Rahu is here, Ketu will be there. If Ketu is here, Rahu will be there. Ketu is here, Rahu will be there. Opposite, opposite. Rahu, Ketu. And if Ketu is here, then Rahu will be here. I hope that you understand. Now, let's move on to the aspects. So sun, if a sun is placed, let's say sun is placed in first house, then it will always aspect the 7th house, or 7th house it will also aspect. If sun is sitting in the 4th house, it will aspect 7th house from itself, which is 10th house. So sun only aspects the opposite one. Moon also only aspects opposite. Mercury also only aspect opposite. Venus also only aspect opposite. Mars aspect 4th, 7th and 8th of itself. So if Mars is sitting here, then it will aspect 4th, 7th and 8th of itself. If Mars is sitting here, it will aspect 4th, 7th and 8th of itself. So you have to calculate from where the position, and you have to see which position it is there. Now let's talk about the Jupiter. It aspects 5th, 7th and 9th position. So 5, 7, 9 position. If Jupiter is sitting here, then it will aspect 5th, 7th and 9th. So what is aspect basically? Aspect is the energy of that planet is going into that house energy. This will help you in reading the charts and getting deeper insights of the chart. Now moving on to the Saturn, it has for 3rd, 7th and 10th. So 3rd, 7th and 10th. Rahu, Ketu aspect 5, 7, 9, 5, 7, 9 and 12th. So if Rahu is here, then it will aspect this and this. And Ketu is there, it will also aspect this and this. 5, 7, 9 and 12. Okay, that's the 100% aspect. And there is also 75% aspect. So Okay, let's suppose our sun is sitting here in the ninth house. Uh, what will be the seventh position? It will be the opposite, so the third house. So it will aspect here. Let's say that your sun is present in the second house. Then its energy will also direct it into the eighth house, seventh from itself. Plus, sun only aspect seventh house. Let's say if it was Rahu or Ketu. If Rahu is sitting in the fourth house, it will aspect 7, 8th house, 12th house, and 3rd house, because it aspects 5, 7, 9, and 12. So, like that, you have to calculate for each and every planet aspects, and you have to keep that in mind that its energy is influencing that. So, the aspect energy is influencing. If Jupiter is present here, it will aspect the 5th, 7th, and 9th. So, 5th from itself is this, 7th, and 9th. These, this. It will aspect. I think I have given you enough examples for you to understand now. Twelfth houses of spirituality, losses, isolation, sleep, expenditures, pleasures of bed, all that. Yeah, I think that's all for houses. You can check it out, and you'll get some insights. Okay, now let's talk about the exaltation and debilitation of the planets. So let's first talk about the Mula Trikona. We know that Leo is the only zodiac of the sun, and m- Cancer is the only zodiac of the moon. We have two zodiac under Mercury, that is Gemini and Virgo, out of which Mula Trikona is Virgo, so that means Virgo is more prominent. Then we have for Venus we have Libra, and Venus is in Taurus and Libra. So out of Taurus and Libra, Libra is more prominent energy of Venus, and more prominent energy of Mars is in Aries. Then it is more than that of Scorpio, because Mars is in Aries and Scorpio. Jupiter more energies in Sagittarius than in Pisces, so that is why it is the mole trikona. Saturn more energies in the Aquarius than the Capricorn. Capricorn is feminine, and Aquarius is masculine. So this one is masculine, this one is masculine, this was masculine, masculine again, feminine, feminine, masculine. Exaltation. Now let's talk about the exaltation. So the energy of the sun is exalted in Aries. What does that mean? That means that the energy get enhanced in the Aries. So let's suppose that if the sun is present in the Aries, then it will be exalted. That means its energy will be enhanced, and its energy is debilitated in Libra. That means its energy is reduced in Libra. Sun energy is reduced in Libra. Diminishes, enhance and diminishes. Okay. And so similarly, the moon energy enhances in Taurus and diminishes in Scorpio. Mercury energy enhances in Virgo itself, which is its Mool Trikona, and it's debilitated in Pisces. It's diminishes in Pisces energy. Okay. For Venus, exaltation is Pisces and debilitation is Virgo. So increase of energy, decrease of energy. Now for Mars, it is exalted in Capricorn and debilitated in Cancer. For Jupiter, it is exalted in Cancer and debilitated in Capricorn. Saturn, it is exalted in Libra and debilitated in Aries. So you can see that Saturn is just opposite of the Sun. So in Sun, Aries, it is exalted in Aries and debilitated in Libra. Then Saturn is exalted in Libra and debilitated in Aries. So these two are very simple to remember. Then we have Moon. So Moon and Venus energy are similar. So that is why Taurus is there. and Taurus is like less prominent energy, so that is why moon, it is exalted in moon. Okay. Then we have Scorpio. Scorpio is less aggravated energy of Mars. So moon and Mars doesn't go together, so that is why it is Scorpio, I suppose. Then in Mercury, it is exalted in its own, so it is exalted in Virgo, and it is debilitated in Pisces, which is Jupiter energy. So Mercury and Jupiter don't go together, I guess. Venus energy is exalted in Pisces, so Venus and Jupiter go together, and it is debilitated in Virgo. That means Venus and Mercury don't go together. Yeah, we have seen that here. Venus and Mercury don't go together. Well, so why do we have Virgo here? Because Mercury is Virgo. Alright, and that is Pisces, Jupiter, and that is Jupiter again. Yeah, so Mercury and Venus are kind of polar opposite of each other again. Nice. Okay, so these two are also easy to remember. Virgo, Pisces, Pisces, Virgo. Mercury likes Virgo itself and doesn't like Pisces, Jupiter. Okay, and Venus likes Jupiter but doesn't like Mercury. Okay. Aries is exalted in Capricorn, so Mars likes Saturn. Very impressive. And is debilitated in Cancer, so Mars doesn't like Moon, which can be understood because Moon also doesn't like Mars. Now, Jupiter is exalted in Cancer, which is Moon, so Jupiter likes Moon. Jupiter doesn't like Saturn, so that is why it is debilitated in Capricorn. Saturn likes, so Saturn we have already covered. Saturn likes Libra, so Venus, and doesn't like Mars, Aries. Got it. Similarly, we have friends of Saturn, which is Moon, Mars, Jupiter, neutrals, Mercury, enemy, Saturn, and Venus. Mercury don't like Moon. Venus don't like Sun and Moon. Mars don't like Mercury. Jupiter don't like Mercury, and Saturn doesn't like Sun, Moon, and Mars. Okay, but Mars likes Saturn. Mars is neutral to Saturn, not like Saturn. Okay, so these are the relationships that I suppose that you will remember. Okay, same thing, exaltation and debilitation we have also in degrees, and these are the symbols of each and every zodiac for you to check out. So that's about exaltation and debilitation. I guess I've already talked about the Vimshorttri Dasha system while talking about the Nakshatra, but because it is an important topic, let me just explain it again. So, if we see the Nakshatra lord of each and every Nakshatra, then we see that it starts Ketu, Venus, Sun, Moon, Mars, Rahu, Jupiter, Saturn, Mercury. This is repeating. Then again, Mercury, after Mercury, Ketu comes, then Venus, and Sun, Moon, Mars, Saturn, Mercury. Then again, Ketu, Venus, Sun, Moon, Mars, Mercury, Moon, Mars, Rahu, Jupiter, Saturn, and Mercury. All that. Okay, that is one thing. Another thing is we have some Dasha period. So 7 years for Ketu, 20 years for Venus, 6 years for Sun, 10 years for Moon, 7 years for Mars, 18 years for Rahu, 16 years for Jupiter, 19 years for Saturn, 17 years for Mercury. Total 120 years are there. Okay. Now let's suppose you are born in any nakshatra, let's say Punarvasu nakshatra, that means your nakshatra lord will be Jupiter. That means your dasha will start from Jupiter. So it will start with the 16 years, then Saturn dasha will come 19 years, then Mercury dasha will come 17 years, then Ketu dasha will come, then Venus, and so on. Okay, let's take another example. Let's say that you are Swati nakshatra, that means you are a Rahu nakshatra. So your dasha will start with the Rahu. First 18 years you will have Rahu nakshatra, then you will have Jupiter nakshatra, then Saturn, then Mercury, then Ketu, then Venus, and then Sun, so on. How do we know that what is our nakshatra? I have explained this again before in nakshatra, but because this is important, let me just explain it again. So wherever you see your position of the moon in the chart in whichever zodiac, that zodiac degree also you have to see. So let's suppose your moon is in Cancer, and in Cancer it is 10 degree. So moon is in Cancer 10 degree, so that means 10 degree would be 90 plus 10, 110, in which it is like 110, it is not lying here, so it will be in the next. 110 is also not in here. Yeah, it is in 90 plus 10 is 100. Oh, sorry, my bad. So 100 is lying in Aslesha, so that means you are in Aslesha nakshatra. Okay, let's take another example. Let's say that you are in Capricorn 28 degree. Capricorn 28 degree, that means 170 plus 28 degree is 198. 198 is in Dhanishta, this range. That means this will be your nakshatra, and your nakshatra lord will be Mars. This will be your nakshatra, and your nakshatra lord will be Mars. So you will start, you go to the Vimshorttri Dasha system. Mars will start 7 years, then goes Rahu 18 years, then goes Jupiter 16 years, then Saturn 19 years, then Mercury 17 years, then Ketu again, and then Venus and Sun and all that again. Okay, nobody lives 120 years, very few people lives. Most of the people only see their there are total how many dashas? 7 planets, so 7 dashas. No, even Rahu Ketu, so 9 total Mahadashas are there. Out of those 9 Mahadashas, people generally see 5, 6, 7 Mahadashas on average. Some see even 8. Very few see 10 Mahadashas. Anyhow, so that's about our Vimshorttri Dasha period. Now we have revolution and retrograde period. That is very important to learn. So that is the orbital period around the earth. So like moon, every day moon takes revolves around the earth. Every single day moon revolves around earth, that we know. But in 27.3 days is the difference between the new moon to the full moon. So the orbital period we have like 27.3 days. Earth around revolves around the sun in 365 days, that we know. And Mercury revolves around the sun in 88 days. Mercury is the first planet after the sun, then Venus is the second, it takes about 225 days, then Mars is the third, it takes about 600 and Earth is the third, and fourth is the Mars, which is like 2 years of approximately of Earth years, and 687 days. Jupiter is the fifth, it takes about 12 years. Saturn is the sixth, it takes about 30 years. Then Uranus, then Neptune, then Pluto. Rahu and Ketu takes about 18 years to revolve around the sun. Now, how these calculations are made exactly, we have to like dig in to find out, but I have like compiled all this. So days to complete one Earth revolution. Moon takes about 27.3 days to do one Earth revolution. I think orbital period around. Okay. I am like little bit concerned about these two. I don't think so that these two will be same. But okay. Then Sun takes about 1 year to revolve around the Earth. Basically, Earth is revolving around the Sun, but we are seeing, if we see from the Earth perspective, it takes about that much time only. Okay. For Mercury as well, it takes about that much time. So basically, these is like analysis how the planet, each and every planet will move around in our chart. Basically, these planets. So Moon will take 27.3 days to move completely around our chart. Sun will take about 1 year to do completely around the chart. That means if we see the aspects, if we see the houses from, so Sun will take 365 days to cover this entire thing, and Moon will take only 27.3 days, like that. Okay, so Mercury will also take 1 year, Venus will also take 1 year when we are talking about the chart revolution. Okay, now the thing is, when we are seeing from the Earth perspective, we see that the planet is getting retrograde. Retrograde meaning that the planet appears to be moving slower, because generally what happens is that the planet is moving faster. That's the normal revolution. But sometimes what happens, it that the planet appears to be moving slower. So when that happens, then planet move backwards. Just like when you are sitting in a car and your car is driving, and if it overtakes somebody, it is because your relative velocity is faster than that of a car. But when we are talking about the revolution, it's not about the velocity with which it is rotating in an orbit. It is the relative velocity that we are experiencing of that planet. So it takes about 1 year for Venus, Mercury, and Sun to complete a revolution in our chart. That is something that you have to remember. For Mars, it takes about 2 years. For Jupiter, 12 years, 30 years for Saturn, and so on. Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto we don't even consider, but yeah, 84 years, 164 years, 248 years. Too long. Okay. About 18 years it takes about for Rahu and Ketu. Sun and Moon are never retrograde because they only move in the forward direction. Mercury is retrograde 3 times a year, and it retrogrades for about 21 days. 3 times a year it goes back for 21 days. Mercury. Venus goes back six every 18 months. So every 1.5 year, uh, it retrograde for 42 days or 6 weeks. So for Venus, every 18 months, so every 1.5 year, it retrogrades for 42 weeks, 42 days. Sorry, 6 weeks, 42 days. Mars, once in every 2 year, it retrograde for about 60 to 75 days, so 2 to 2.5 months. For Jupiter, in every 13 months, it retrogrades for 120 days. So almost in every year, 128, so 3 months it is retrograde. So Jupiter is retrograde, so 3 months. Okay, that is how much? 3 by 4. Well, sorry, 1 by 4th. 1 by 4th of the 25% of the time it is retrograde itself. Not 25, so it is 3 1 by 33.33%. Not okay. Oh. Yeah, my bad. Okay, Saturn. In every year, it like retrograde for about 4.5 months, or it's 135 days. It retrogrades. Uranus. In every year, it retrogrades for about 150 days. Neptune retrogrades for 6 months, and Pluto also retrogrades for about 6 months. So half of the time it is retrograding. Saturn is also about 4 to 5 months. Jupiter and Saturn retrograde about 4 to 5 months in a year. Okay, and Mars for 3 months, 2 to 3 months in a year. So this is something that you need to remember. Right. Okay, now let's just talk about the detailed notes and references. So I have provided some detailed notes of planets and zodiac in astrology, nakshatra in astrology, house in astrology, astrology adjectives, karkas in astrology. So if we go at the top, we have each and every planet and its story. So what I have done here is exactly, I have taken a book. That book is basically The Myths and the Symbol of Vedic Astrology by Vipin Bihari, and I have extracted the story of each and every planet, and in a very concise way using ChatGPT, and you can go and read it here directly. You don't have to extract it. This is just the summary of that entire book, and you will get some basic idea about each and every planet if you don't want to read the entire book. Okay, and similarly, you can go to the zodiac and astrology. Here we can, if we go up, for each and every zodiac we have characteristics, mythological symbol, insights, life journey, then all that. For each and every zodiac you can go and read it. Again, this entire thing was extracted by me from the book of Myths and Symbols of Vedic Astrology. Then goes the nakshatras. Nakshatra was also extracted from that book itself, Myths and Symbols of Vedic Astrology. It can okay. Yeah, now let's just talk about the references first. So Vipin Bihari is the author that I think is the best if you want to learn astrology. And so its first book is Fundamentals of Vedic Astrology by Vipin Bihari. Then there is Planets in the Signs of Houses by Vipin Bihari. Then Myths and Symbols of Vedic Astrology by Vipin Bihari. Revelations of Zodiacal Signs and Lunar Mansions by Vipin Bihari. The Timings of Events by Vipin Bihari. So this book tells about just the fundamentals. Okay, this book is like good for consultation. It actually shows for each and every house, for each and every zodiac, for each and every planet. So we have a hierarchy. First we have the houses, then we have the zodiacs, then we have the planets. So in that way we get each and every combination that we can get in a chart. So if you go there and just look at each and every combination, it will help you in doing the consultations. So that's one great book. And if you just want to read about the story and everything and each and every nakshatra in detail, then this book is the best. Myths and Symbols of Vedic Astrology. It starts with each and every planet, then all the zodiacs are explained, then all the nakshatras are explained. So basically, there is the story involved for each and every nakshatra in it. Then comes the revelation of zodiacal signs and lunar mansions. In this book, these two books are extremely similar. The same things explained, nothing much. Then goes the fifth book, which is the timing of events by Vipin Bihari. In this book, he explains about the Dasha system, the Vimshorttri Dasha systems, and all other kinds of Dasha system. And this book is in great detail. If you read this, then that's the greatest depth of astrology that you can understand. Okay, so for each and every nakshatra as well, I have given some summary. Extracted with the help of ChatGPT. For each and every houses also, I have provided the summary extracted with the help of the ChatGPT. So like each houses, so first is physical appearance, personality, beginnings, new ventures, vitality, energy, life path. Similarly, we have attributes for second house, third house, fourth house, and so on. Okay, till the 12th house. You can check it. Then comes the astrology adjectives. So basically, these are the adjectives that we have just put it in the here itself. Zodiac characteristics, nakshatra characteristics, planetary characteristics, all these things I have added inside that itself in the detailed notes references inside this astrology adjectives. So just a second, I was trying to explain. So we have already all that in this planetary characteristics, zodiac characteristics, nakshatra characteristics. Yeah, so we have extracted all that. These are all the adjectives that this explains each and every zodiac. After that, each and every planet is there and their adjectives. Fine. Okay, now let's just talk about the karkas in astrology. The planet with the highest degree is the Atma Karka. The second highest degree is the Atmaya Karka. The first highest degree is also your soul significator. The second highest degree is your career wealth significator. Third highest degree is sibling significator. Fourth highest degree is mother significator. Fifth highest degree is children significator. Sixth highest degree is relative significator. And seventh highest degree is the spouse significator. So if you want to know what will be the characteristics of your spouse, I think you should just check out your Tarakarka or the planet with the lowest degree. So let's say that Venus is your Dharakarka or the planet with the lowest degree. The degree usually goes from 0 to 30 degrees, and 30 being the maximum and 0 being the lowest. So if your planet is near about 0, then it is the Dharakarka, and if it is the closest to the 30, then it is the Atmakarka. And let's say that your sun is having the highest degree, so your sun is your Atmakarka, and your personality will be reflecting in that. So because that is your soul significator, and Dhara Karka is the spouse significator. All these Karkas are also there. 7 Karkas are there because there are 7 major planets if you do not include Rahu and Ketu. And remember that we do not include Rahu and Ketu when we are talking about the Karkas. Okay, yeah, so, and these are also some properties of each and every planet. Yeah, so that's all. Yeah, so I hope that you like my explanation, and that sums up everything in astrology. I just would request you to just keep on exploring more and more and learn more and more about astrology and gain more and more insights so that you can become a good astrologer. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.